Race Coach Morgan here from the Run Experience. We have a new twist on a high intensity workout. I have 4 movements. We're gonna go for 16 minutes here. I'll show you everything once we get into it. So the first movement we have here is a push-up with an arm raise. So we're gonna get into our plank position here, and we're gonna take a little bit of a wider stance with our feet, a little bit wider than hip width, because when we come up for our arm raise, we don't wanna be swinging the hips a little bit here. So we're gonna go down, keeping those elbows tucked in nice and tight at the sides, dropping down, pushing back up, bracing ourselves, bringing that arm up as high as you can and back down, and then you're gonna switch sides. We're aiming for about 10 here. Now with this, it's really good to really work on that core strength here. We're gonna be challenging ourselves not to move our hips out to the side. So what I don't wanna see is when we go down to our push-up and we push back up, I don't wanna see this here. Keep those hips nice and level and nice and tight the whole time. All right, the next movement we have here are our happy stars. This is gonna be a little bit of a core rotation workout here. Now, what we really wanna focus on this workout is that we're not just laying on the ground and like flailing everywhere. We really wanna focus on this core, making sure it stays nice and tight the entire time. So what that's gonna do is when we're in that run position, when our core starts to deteriorate and it's not as strong, we're gonna end up slouching and we're gonna be running in this position, which we don't wanna be in. This does not make a pretty race photo, trust me. So when we're in this nice tight position here, the easiest way to get into it is thinking about tucking those hips under and pushing that belly button back into the spine. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna lay down on the ground, and I don't want you to just like slap back down. We're gonna do a nice little roll here. So you can even grab the knees and so you're nice and flat. So I couldn't be able to stick my hands underneath. So every time we go up to do our little crunch here, I want you to reset and get into this position. So when I lay down automatically, as you can see, I get that arch in my back, which is what we don't want. So we're gonna reset here. We're gonna sit up a little bit. We're gonna tuck those hips under, push that belly button down in, and we're gonna reach up and tap the opposite toe. And come back down nice and slow. As you can see, I don't have any room here. And laying back down, resetting, tipping those hips back under, and up and touching and coming back down. Now, a little variation on this, if you don't have that range of motion, once again, coming back down, you can keep a little bend in the knees here, which is gonna kind of almost force you into that flat back position. And you can come up and touch here, maybe not bringing the whole body up off the ground and rolling back. We really wanna protect this here. So you can kind of go here and down, making sure you're breathing, keeping that core nice and tight, no room under here, up and back down. Also, we wanna make sure that we're focusing on moving with the core first, our abs here, and not our neck. So when you come up off the ground, I don't want you to throw your neck. Keep it a nice neutral spine here. Really just focusing here, and that's where we wanna move from is our core. All right, our next movement here is going to be a banded squat. I have my little small resistance band here. If you don't have one, that's okay. You can still do this workout without it. We're gonna step in here and pull the resistance band up just a couple inches above the knees. Now what you're gonna start to feel already is the resistance here. Your knees are gonna wanna concave in. The main purpose of using the band is to push those knees out to the side. So after you find that hip width stance, really focusing on almost like pulling the floor apart with your feet. You wanna shoot those knees out to the side. So as we do a squat, we're gonna sit back with our hips. They're gonna be the first thing to move, sitting down, pushing those knees out to the side and coming back up. You can do these a little bit more slower and controlled. And from the side, sitting back down, pushing those knees out, down, and coming back up. Also making sure we're keeping a nice flat back here. If you don't have the resistance band, we're just gonna be working on our squats today. Still finding that shoulder width stance, sitting back down to the squat, but really focusing on making sure we're pushing those knees out to the side instead of letting them come in when we go down and coming back up. All right, so for our last movement, we're gonna be doing some quicker step-ups here. They're more gonna be like a toe tap actually. So find yourself literally anything you want. I have my little box here. I'll start slow and then we can kind of get a little faster here. So what you're gonna do is just tap, 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 tap. And you're gonna get a little bounce in there, really start to drive those elbows. This one's gonna be your higher cardio one. You're probably gonna be a little out of breath here, but making sure we're staying up nice and tall, not slouching over. You can do this on a little bit of a smaller surface if this is a little too high for you, but yeah, try to keep these nice and quick and snappy. All right, so for this 16-minute workout, you're gonna be starting a new movement every minute on the minute. For your push-ups, you're gonna be doing 5 on each side, so 10. For your happy stars, same thing, 5 on each side, so 10 altogether. For your squats, you're gonna be doing 20. And for the last one of the quick steps, you're gonna be trying to aim for 15 on each leg, so 30 altogether. However long those take you in that 1 minute, you get the remainder of that minute for your rest. We're aiming for about 20 seconds of rest here. So if you're taking a little bit too longer, you only have maybe 5 to 10 seconds of rest, cut back on those reps to give yourself a little bit more time there.